You know, dude, these Conan the Barbarian stories are nothing like I thought they'd be.
For crumb's sake. Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, and that's Bill, and today we're watching Conan the Destroyer from 1984. So, Bill, what did you think of Conan the Destroyer?
So that's why everybody was mad at Jay Leno. What? Oh, it's pretty cool. It's actually way better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I didn't know this movie even existed.
So like what, last year?
Yeah. So I was like, wait, there's a sequel to Conan the Barbarian? Then I kind of was told, yeah, but it's bad.
That's what I always kind of heard.
Yeah.
Because they didn't make a third one.
But then I watched it and I was like, this was fun.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, like, not as much, sex.
No
in this
sex.
one. Yeah.
No sex. It's completely sexless. I think from what I read that this movie was cut down. Like there was apparently a sex scene between Conan and the Evil Queen.
Oh, whoa.
And they just cut that stuff out because they wanted to get a PG rating.
Okay.
Of course, this was 1984, right before the PG-13 rating existed. So even though it's rated PG, there's still blood, throat slitting, a head getting lopped off, stabbings, guts of blood. Not as much as in, say, a rated R movie, but a shocking amount for a movie rated PG.
There's enough. But what can you say about Conan the Barbarian? Conan the Barbarian is a cool character. He's, I guess, still mourning the death of Valeria in this movie.
Even though some time has clearly gone by because he's got a new sidekick for some reason.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like he has a new sidekick.
Played by Bob Vagoon.
Bob? Gun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, same guy.
Wow, that's fun. I guess we got Akira.
Kiro?
Kiro?
The wizard played by that Mako Mako guy?
Yep.
Yep.
He's back.
Yeah, well, then there was, what's her name? Zula?
Zula.
Right, Zula. And that was, what was it, Grace Jones?
Yes. But yeah, we've got Evil Queen, niece that is, I guess, a princess,
Sure, why not?
and scary, tall bodyguard guy. I want to say Barbosa, but I'm like, no, wait, that's Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like Babuda or something.
Something with a B.
Yeah, that guy.
Played by some basketball player whose name I remembered this morning and I forgot it already.
He is so tall.
Very tall. Secret bonus, though. That giant monster they fight at the end?
Is it also him?
No.
Oh,
Someone just as big.
Andre the Giant?
Andre the Giant.
Oh my god. Of course.
Uncredited Andre the Giant as giant monster at the end. There's a picture I saw from the set of this movie. It's them with Arnold Schwarzenegger in between, and Arnold Schwarzenegger just looks like he's their kid.
That's hilarious.
They're so much bigger than him.
Yeah. I mean, height-wise, for sure. Like, yeah, you know, Conan the Destroyer, it's like a very different movie than I thought it was going to be. It's just like another Conan the Barbarian adventure. It's like he hasn't found his kingdom yet.
The opening narration literally says,
Now let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Yeah. But, you know, it's fun, you know? There's, like, a lot of cool stuff in it. You know, Conan's got his, like, awesome-looking sword. He literally just, like, murders a bunch of people at the beginning of the movie, which is pretty fun.
well, they interrupted him while he was mourning his sort of girlfriend that died an indeterminate amount of time before this.
Yeah, his lost love.
Yes.
Which, you know, Conan's kind of, like, a smart character, but I guess, like, grief kind of made him stupid by thinking, like, this queen could, like, bring Valeria back to life. Because, like, he's just like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I mean, I saw a guy turn himself into a snake that one time.
I mean, he's just like, I guess we could see if this happens. And if not, I'll kill her. That's what I do.
Yeah.
That's how Conan rolls. He'll roll with it. And if you try to double cross him, he'll just kill you.
Yeah. You know, one thing about Conan that I like is he's not just, like, a brute. He is, like, smart. And,
he's a little snarkier in this one.
Yeah.
I like the part where they're just like, she's fighting 6 opponents. He's like, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it's a fun like journey movie, I guess.
Yeah, the basic gist is the evil queen asks Conan to guide her niece on her prophesized mission to obtain this crystal that leads to a magic horn
Yes.
that will awaken some kind of demigod demon monster thing.
So, of course, they got to go on the journey. You know, Evil Queen's going to betray Conan. Like,
They let us know right away about that
yeah.
one.
They're like, she's like, yeah, by the way, I'm not bringing back his girlfriend because I can't do that shit.
And it's a good thing Conan got this mission and he's like, oh, magic's involved? Let me go get my old magic buddy. And it's because otherwise,
Yeah.
he would have been eaten by cannibals.
Seriously.
He's literally being roasted alive.
The Hyborian Age is a very weird age. Like, with this world of, like, magic and vague kingdoms and fucking wizards, man. You know, the magic is kind of vague, I guess. It's more like they're concentrating really hard to, like, open doors and stuff. They're not really saying, like, spells.
Yeah, it's like light telekinesis. That one guy, he lights a torch.
Yeah, and
But then again, there was that one wizard.
turn into the smoke dragon or
He turned into
whatever.
a smoke dragon, and whatever the hell he was doing in that room of mirrors.
Oh, yeah. It's, like, vague and weird,
And he has like a monster form or something that wrestles Conan.
which is cool. I don't know, because it's like Conan the Barbarian. He fights, like, wizards, but they're not, like, stereotypical, like, fantasy wizards that are just, like, like firebolt or, like, saying, like, incantations. They're, like, kind of, like, disgusting men that are, like, either, like, holding ladies or treasure or something, and their powers are, like, vague but, like, weird. I guess, like, I'm thinking of James Earl Jones with, like, the hypnosis, and even this guy kind of had, like, a shade of hypnosis where, like, the girl he kidnaps, the princess, she doesn't wake up at all, even though she's, like, being carried by, like, a giant smoke bird.
Yeah. And he's just like, sleep.
Yeah.
Stay asleep.
Also,
See you in the morning for breakfast.
yeah. But he also wants her to touch the crystal, too, because, like, only she
maybe-
can touch the crystal.
Maybe he wants the horn for nefarious reasons. I don't know.
Maybe.
Everyone wants that horn for nefarious reasons.
Yeah. I don't know. That old wizard is like, that horn is a powerful aphrodisiac. Because, wizards are gross in Conan sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is a family movie, so it's not that.
That's true. It is not that.
It's a family movie with
It's
bloodshed.
In some ways, you think it might become that at certain points because they always like talk about like the princess's virginity and stuff, but then it never really like
In some
goes
ways,
there.
yeah. I mean, in some ways, you can kind of tell, like, okay, yeah, they probably did film this, and it would have been R, but they cut some stuff, and now it's not.
Yeah. So it's like kind of weird, like because like the princess is like clearly into Conan because like who wouldn't be?
And he's just not at all interested.
Yeah.
He prefers warrior women. He's like, look at this child.
Which I can kind of respect. That's one thing I like about him. He's just like, no. It's just like, no way.
Not
like-
interested.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's like, I like girls kind of like Zula, but not Zula. Like,
It's like, well, why not her? I don't know. Feels like she'd stab me in the heart afterwards.
she's a little crazy. I don't know her that well. We just met.
I like strong, not crazy. You never get with crazy.
Yeah. Zula is kind of crazy. She's got that like smile at that one point. She's just like screaming it, like when she like fights off all those guys after Conan helps her escape
Yeah.
from like that. Once again, like another part where like those like people that captured her like say some stuff that's like PG movie, huh? Like,
And apparently, her and a band of thieves were caught, and she's the only one still alive. And like, I guess they're just sort of like playing with her before they kill her or something.
yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of weird.
it is weird.
Though I'll say, I mean, Grace Jones looks like she was having a blast in this movie,
Yeah,
swinging a stick like crazy.
yeah, like kind of jumping around. It's kind of a little disappointing that like Conan kind of like is building up this like crew in this movie, but then he just immediately is just like, okay, you're not my like actual crew, cause see you later.
They left with his blessing.
Yeah, it's just interesting though.
She offers them all positions, and Conan's like, "Look, if you want it, go for it."
It's like, you should take these jobs. They have good 401ks.
And she's just like, "You want to be king? Not here."
Yeah.
And he just leaves.
I mean, it's kind of cool that he's just like, not here. I'm finding my own shit. It's like, I'm not taking that queen's sloppy seconds of a kingdom.
I don't know how old you are, but you feel too young.
It's just like, this place isn't cool enough for Conan.
If I'm gonna have a kingdom, I have to fight a war for it.
Yeah.
This wasn't a war. This is like a weekend getaway for me.
Yeah. I mean, there's enough locations like, the wizard. He's got like an ice palace, I guess. I thought it was crystal, but then it's like cold in there, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's an ice palace.
Ice crystal.
Yeah.
Crystal ice. I don't know.
Yeah. Like we talked about the room with the mirrors and the monster, which, man, that is like so video gamey. With like, you can't hurt the monster with your sword. You have to attack its like reflection.
Yeah, that is very video gamey.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, that's cool though.
Not
I
the
like
most
that.
articulate looking face on that thing though.
Yeah.
It literally is just like there's a little twitching in some of the close-ups, but it just doesn't move really. It just looks like a guy in a rubber mask.
Yeah. I don't know what the budget for this movie like was. It definitely seemed like okay though. I mean, like,
The thing is, like, the movie looks generally pretty good, except with the monster stuff. The monsters
Yeah.
don't look good. They look kind of crap.
I will say, the monster at the end of the movie, which is, I think, like, an interesting concept, but, like, maybe, like, the costume could have been better. But, like, I like the idea of, like, they have to, like, revive this god in this way by sacrificing the princess. But it's, like, if they don't do the ritual, like, correctly, he still gets revived, but he's, like, kind of, like, mutated, almost.
Comes some kind of monster that will destroy everything in its path.
Yeah, because I guess if they did it right, he would have come back looking exactly like that statue and been like, I got all the power. But instead, he just, like, turns into this, like, gross monster thing, and pretty much they gotta fight him at the end, which is, like, I don't know, with, like, a more modern day special effects, that monster probably could have been, like, cooler than what it was. He kind of just looked like a giant brown turd sometimes.
It's not even necessarily modern effects, just like, I don't know, like the Jim Henson Company or just somebody that was better at making that kind of stuff. Shit, Toho.
Yeah,
You put that guy in like the Megalon suit, suddenly you got a much cooler looking monster.
yeah, definitely.
It's like,
Man,
the monster kind of reminded me of like a less bug version of Megalon for some reason.
yeah, a little bit.
Because he had like the horn.
Yeah. The horn is the most important part.
Yes. Which is why it has to be removed.
Yes. But, there's a lot of shades of, like, adventure. Like, they go into a tomb to get the horn. There's another cult in the movie briefly.
For a second, I thought that was the evil queen being like, thank you, I'll take that now.
Yeah.
But no, it's just another group of people for them to all kill.
Yeah. Another wizard that I guess is a little bit more competent than the one in the ice cave. He seemed to have an easier time doing wizard spells, but then Keto and him have wizard battle, which is them staring at each other and
then
doing like vague like concentration noises and stuff.
And then he did something and he was like, ah!
Yeah,
What the hell did he do to him?
I don't know.
Oh, showed him something weird in his brain.
Maybe. I mean, Akito's best spell is just, you mentioned it before, but he just like lights the torch. Like he just like does a hand wave and the torch just sparks up. It's just like, oh, that's very handy. It's kind of funny too that Conan just has the torch out and Keto just knows what to do. Conan's just like, you're my magic guy.
Now, we know from the narration he's also becomes his chronicler, which I guess means he leaves Princess Girl at some point in the future.
Yeah. I guess Conan's just like, I got a better job for you.
Write down my stuff. Write down the stuff you remember, and then I'll tell you the other stuff. So let's just get on that.
Yeah. I kind of like the idea of like these two Conan movies where like the whole like thing is like, Conan eventually becomes a king, but like the trials he goes through to become the king are just like so many that like eventually he gets his kingdom, but like you don't know when or where.
I mean, it was supposed to be in a third movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the intent.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know if it was the box office of this, but there was partially that, and then I think some of the same people produced that Red Sonja movie. That was really bad apparently and did really badly.
Oh man.
And that was kind of it for Sword and Sorcery, on a large scale for a while. And definitely I mean, by the time they made Red Sonja, I think they lost the rights to Conan.
Oh man.
Because Schwarzenegger is in that movie as some other guy who looks a lot like Conan the Barbarian.
He's not Conan.
But he's not Conan.
Yeah.
He's legally distinct Conan.
He's somebody different.
Basically Conan.
Sure is. But yeah, I was surprised that Conan the Destroyer was pretty good.
I think it's just one of those things where it's like, you hear something, it's like, oh, it's so bad, it's terrible. And then you go like, this is okay. I think I've just seen some really bad movies that I'm just like, I got things on like a scale. Would I put this very high? No.
Yeah.
But for a 90-minute movie, I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it's not as memorable
No.
as the first one. Like, it doesn't have like a lot of like great lines in it and stuff. But like,
It lacks a better villain because, you had James Earl Jones
Yeah.
as the creepy snake man. Because it's like, what do we got in this? We got a wizard that's not very well developed, another wizard that's even less developed, and Evil Queen, who in her first scene kind of looked like what's her name from He-Man, which was probably ripping this off. I don't know.
oh, okay.
Yeah, she looks like Evil Lynn in that first scene when she like takes her mask off.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got that like head thing
Yeah.
on.
So I'm like,
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, He-Man's obviously very inspired by Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, very much so. But yeah, I mean, she's also not in the movie a lot, so it's like, it's,
Yeah.
sometimes movies hinge on both their hero and their villain. We got a solid enough hero with Conan. Like, he had an okay underboss rival with the captain of the guard or whatever.
Yeah.
Who was there just to keep her alive long enough so they could kill her later.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know. Conan the Barbarian is a very interesting character. I'd love to see more stuff with him, but it just seems like they never really get it right after this. Like they've had like, I think they did a modern Conan the Barbarian movie like sometime in like the 2010s.
Yeah, with Jason
Yeah.
Momoa. There was an attempt at a TV show back in the 90s, like aping off of Hercules and Xena, but that only lasted a season from what I understand.
Yeah. A new TV show would be cool, but who knows?
We were this close to one, apparently.
Oh man.
Amazon was producing one,
Wow.
but there was a change in management, and whoever took over, she was just like, let's not do Conan. Let's spend $80 billion on a Lord of the Rings show.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Well, I guess.
I mean, it's getting to season 2, I guess. I never watched it.
Is it? It might be airing already. I don't even know.
I have no idea. It's not one of the big marquee shows that people talk about.
I just don't care about Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I like those movies, and that's about it.
I've seen parts of those movies, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I tried.
There you go.
Anytime it cut back to the hobbits,
You're like, who are these gross little people?
look, I can't stand Frodo. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
He sucks.
He kind of does suck, but... I mean, I am in no way the best person to talk about fantasy stuff. It's the one genre that, like, I really can't get into. Like, I know Conan the Barbarian is, like, fantasy, but, like, it's, like, different.
It's sword and sorcery, whereas Lord of the Rings is medieval fantasy.
Yeah.
So they're similar, but they're also different branches of that tree.
Yeah.
So
It's, like, no elves and stuff. It's
No.
gonna be, like, different shit.
there'll be giant spiders, maybe.
I also like, the whole like framing of the world. It's just like, oh, like this is like the before time, like, where magic was still in the world and it was like totally weird.
But Conan killed it all,
Yeah,
probably.
Maybe.
One story at a time.
Yeah. Doesn't like wizards, and who would?
No, they smell.
Yeah. They're weird.
And they smell.
Yeah. They probably do smell.
I mean, everyone in this movie probably smells.
They probably do. But I don't know what else to say about Conan the Destroyer except it's better than I thought it was. And
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a lighter movie, and I understand, like, if you prefer the brutal violence, and I understand why someone wouldn't like this. And even though it is pretty brutal for a PG movie, because it's, again, PG before PG-13 exists, so it's like kind of this close to being rated R, if I'm being honest.
A little
The dude's
bit.
got his throat slit right there on screen. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah. I guess with that being said, that's Out of Touch podcast for this week.
I think you're right.